Gotta click that OK. There we go. All these lessons learned from various presentations. Okay, so there we go, and we're ready. Okay, everybody, I assume, can see the presentation. You can see it, Lauren?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I want to welcome everybody. This is actually our Q4 2024 update. It was postponed from September. I had a personal issue, but we're back, and hopefully you'll like it. There's going to be a lot of medical technologies that we're going to talk about. And if anybody happened to be at the Ahavat Shalom presentation, which was a best of Israeli innovations. And I don't think anybody in this presentation was at that one, except maybe Eric might have been. The first technology was covered in that one. Otherwise, it's all new technologies. All right, so let's start. So we always talk about an Israel update. So this question actually came up in our evening minyan. And Israel startup funding is back. So there was a drop off after the war began in October 7th, but the money has come back. Israeli startups have raised $9 billion between October 2023 and August 2024. Israel is still the third most popular country for startup funding. Obviously, the US is number one. And a Massachusetts-based equity firm, Two Lanterns, said that they plan to invest 50% of their second fund that they've created in Israel. And the reason is, they said the 12 Israeli investments that they've already invested in their previous round are outperforming all of their other investments by 1.7 times. Wow. So maybe they own stock in Wave. Anyways, and they say that Israelis are the most resilient people on the planet. So a lot of money right now, cybersecurity is the big draw. That's where the lion's share of the money is going. Although most of what we're going to be talking about today are medical technologies. But I was listening to a podcast 2 days ago with the Taiwanese representative to Israel. And she said in Taiwan, they get 5 million cyber attacks a day. So it just shows you how important it is and how big the issue is regarding cybersecurity. Okay, so we're going to start with this innovative burn treatment. The company is called MediWound. They developed a product that they call Nexabrid, and it actually provides more effective burn treatments. What it is it's a cream, and you spread this cream on the burn, and the cream actually dissolves the dead flesh. In the past, the doctors would have to pick the dead flesh out of the wound, and it doesn't harm live flesh at all. Now, what it uses is an active ingredient called bromelain, which comes from the stems and the core of a pineapple. And it eliminates, as I said, it eliminates the need to manually remove the dead skin. The results are faster healing, less scarring. Now, the international customers were actually told to expect delays after October 7th, because there were so many Israelis that had burn injuries from the October 7th attacks that they diverted all of their product.
Eric, we're not seeing your presentation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it says your screen share is paused. How do I?
We see like the different, like Israel and innovations, Israel. Oh yeah, 224.
We're seeing your desk. We're seeing your desktop.
Desktop. Yeah, Voices of Israel, female tank.
Hang on. Thank you for telling me. I'm stopping the share and let me start it again. Okay. Share. That's strange. I wonder what happened there.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay, let me get us to play again.
I wasn't sure because I could see it on the keyboard, so I.
Yeah, no, it's whatever they're seeing, whatever you're seeing on your computer. Okay, so this is approved by the FDA. I mentioned they were, international customers were told to expect delays because they diverted the entire product to Israeli hospitals to treat the Israeli burn victims after October 7th. I was just on their website. They just did a quarterly report. They actually can't meet demand. Demand is greater than the supply. They're building a new factory that's going to increase their production by 600%. It's going to come online at the end of 2025. They're also public, by the way. This is you're gonna hear from somebody from Setauket who's getting the treatment.
Well, 6 News is here for your health tonight. And welcome back. Pineapple is a food with a lot of impressive health benefits, and now it's being used in a cream to treat burn victims. Carolyn Gussoff spoke with one of the first patients to be treated with the cream since it received FDA approval, and she's here for you now with the story.
An indescribable nightmare, says Charles Garrison, a disabled man who was burned at his backyard fire pit.
The gas came out and hit my leg, and I went up like a torch.
Just 1 month later, he's healing without any of the surgery or skin grafting that's been the standard of deep burn care for decades.
Looks like you had a lot of good healing going on.
His burned legs are still tough to look at, but vastly improved thanks to a novel new treatment recently FDA approved. Stony Brook Medicine doctors call it a game changer. Garrison among the first in the nation to be treated with a cream derived from the stems and core of pineapples called Nexobrid.
Enzymes present in the pineapple, bromelain, is actually the enzyme which actually does all of the work for us.
It dissolves the burned dead tissue and stops at healthy tissue.
Within 4 hours, it completely dissolves the dead tissue. And it's very selective, so it leaves the normal tissue alive.
Patients can have this done and not require any surgical intervention.
The treatment came to Stony Brook by way of Israel, where Dr. Singer trained 30 years ago. He recently completed a study on its effectiveness.
This has completely revolutionized the way we take care of burns.
In a matter of months, Garrison will begin to see actual skin and hair instead of enduring months of surgery and painful skin grafts.
To a burn surgeon, this is fantastic. I mean, you're showing signs of healing, growth of new skin and new tissue.
He offered me no promises, but gave me the world.
His scars are expected to look as good, if not better, than skin grafting. Carolyn Gussoff, CBS News, Setauket, New York.
Okay, so I actually didn't know this, but apparently heart attacks increase the risk of cancer. And Israeli researchers at Tel Aviv University and Sheba Medical have actually discovered why. And it turns out that following a heart attack, there are these things called SEVs, small extracellular vesicles, and they're released by the heart. Now, these SEVs actually help the heart repair the damage, but unfortunately, they also aid precancerous cells to develop into cancer. And at the same time, they reduce the immune system's ability to fight back cancer. So Israel has created a new drug. They've tested it on animals to actually reduce the SEVs. And what they have found in their testing on animals is that it did slow down the cancer process. Now, it's a new drug. The approval times are very, very long. So it's probably going to be many years before we actually see this drug available for people. All right. But another cancer solution is available today. So there's a technology called thermal ablation, and this technology can be used to eliminate small tumors. But what happens is it's actually heating up the tumor, and that's how it's killing the tumor. But while it's heating up the tumor, it's actually generating bubbles within your body around the tumor, and those bubbles make it hard for the physician to actually locate the tumor with the thermal ablation device. So Israeli startup Texamed has developed an artificial intelligence solution that actually is able to identify the exact location of the tumor amongst the bubbles. The product is called BioTrace, and it's already been used successfully in Israel and Japan. And it's analyzing those bubbles basically to determine where the tumor is located. And it's now approved for testing in the US. So hopefully we'll see this technology coming to the US very soon. And here's a video that describes how it works.
Effective for liver cancer.
Game changer for liver cancer, it says.
There, oh, hang on. Why is the video not playing? There we go.
My name is Yossi Abu, and in the last 7 years, I'm the CEO and the founder of Texomed. Did you know there is a technology that can remove solid cancer tumor from any place in the body within 5 minutes? It is called ablation therapy. It is a minimally invasive procedure that uses heat to destroy abnormal tissue inside the body. It doesn't have the risks of surgery, doesn't have the side effects of chemotherapy, and it takes only 5 minutes. The only problem is that until today, physicians perform ablation therapy have essentially been doing it blindfolded. We at Texomed developed a groundbreaking technology named Biotrace. During ablation procedure, there is an inherent phenomenon called the gas bubble effect. This bubble creates a shadow in a way that physician cannot see, but we found that the dynamic behavior of the gas bubble effects, telling the whole story, we turn something that everyone sees as an obstacle into the solution. Our algorithm uses this information and creates real-time visualization of the tissue damage. For the first time, physicians are able to optimize the outcome of ablation therapy. What we are basically doing is giving this physician eyes. And what is the most amazing in our technology is we don't change anything in the procedure. We use the same ablation device, the same imaging device, and the same workflow. This is a seamless integration that covers all 4 phases of the procedure. Our technology has been validated by the leading ablation and ultrasound manufacturers in the world. When we started to develop this technology, we understood that we needed technologies that was not in the field of medical. I believe the Biotrace system will become the standard of care and a must-have system worldwide. And in the future, not only cancer, but also cardiac arrhythmia, chronic pain, and much more.
Okay, so we're having some, looks like some internet issues here. So just be aware of that, that is affecting the videos. All right, so want to talk about a new kind of pregnancy test. So the company is called Salagnostics, and they have developed a saliva-based pregnancy test. It's called, actually I'm pronouncing it different than the people in this video will pronounce it. I call it Salistic, but they call it something different. And it's actually more accurate than traditional urine-based pregnancy tests. And about 97% accurate. What it does is it actually detects hormone changes in your saliva. It's currently available in Israel, England, Ireland, and Sweden, and it actually won Time Magazine's Best Invention of 2023. And just to get some sense for how big the market is, the pregnancy test market in 2022 was $1.7 billion. So we're going to play a video where you'll see it in detail, and hopefully the video will come through better than what the last one did.
Urine-based pregnancy tests are a thing of the past. Now pregnancy can be tested from just saliva. World's first saliva-based pregnancy test has been launched in the UK. The product is known as Salilistic, and it is the first one that can detect pregnancy with a speed test. This product has been developed by a Jerusalem-based startup, Salagnostics. The company said that they used the same technology that is used to make COVID testing kits. The test, which is based on technology that detects HCG, a hormone specific to pregnancy, is believed to be 97% accurate and more convenient to use.
Human chorionic gonadotropin.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. All right. Anyways, there's now there's
I have a quick question on that one.
which one? The Salistick?
Pregnancy test?
Yep.
You may not know, but how early in the pregnancy can it detect the pregnancy?
Well, you were right about that. I don't know how early it detects it. As soon as that hormone becomes available.
I'm asking my son, Sarah, that pregnant.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But she found out really early.
Okay. Did you hear that from Maureen? Maureen
No,
said
she's on mute.
she's asking her son-in-law because her daughter found out very early about her pregnancy, so she wanted to know if she used that test. All right, let's talk about Alzheimer's. So this is Dr. Shai Rahimapour. He's from Bar-Ilan University, and he's actually developed a new Alzheimer's treatment. Now, what this does, this treatment slows the progression. So obviously, in order to make it effective, you have to be in an early stage of Alzheimer's. And what they do is they inject these nanoparticles into your brain, and they're controlled by weak X-rays, and they control these nanoparticles to target a specific protein that's actually responsible for the cognitive decline, the Alzheimer's. And the protein is called the amyloid beta protein. It forms clumps in the brain, and these clumps attack the nerve cells in the brain. So again, this is another one where they've tested it in animals. It's been successful. So now they need to go and do human testing. So this is going to be many years away, but when it comes out, it appears that it could be an effective treatment to slow Alzheimer's. All right. Artificial organs, just like real organs, need blood to survive. And when an artificial organ is implanted in a body, in a human body, it takes the body a while to build those blood vessels. So Bonus Bio Group has actually developed artificial blood vessels that they implement inside of the artificial organ. And this not only does these artificial blood vessels deliver blood to the organ, but it also acts as a scaffolding that actually holds the organ together. So it makes the organ more durable. And these artificial blood vessels are biodegradable. So as the body is building its own blood vessels into the organ, the artificial blood vessels are disintegrating. The company has obtained patents in 18 European countries. So soon we'll be seeing this in artificial organs. The video I'm going to play, you have to read the subtitles, so I'm hoping that this video comes through properly.
Just going to figure out the rate of disintegration.
Okay, so now here's another cell technology, or not, well, the other one wasn't really a cell technology, artificial organs, but this is a way of implementing cells within your body without doing surgery. So it was developed at the Stem Cell and Tissue Engineering Lab at Technion by Dr. Lior Debi. And what they do is they inject a biologic fluid in the area that needs the new cells. And then they use ultrasound waves that actually convert the fluid into the cells that you want. And the cells can be customized to match whatever cells you're trying to replicate. And it's literally the equivalent of 3D printing inside of your body. So if you look at this photo here, you'll see at the 10-second mode, the cell structure is just starting to form. And then at 20 seconds, you see quite a bit of defined cells that have developed. And then by 30 seconds, you see the full structure is implemented. So the conversion actually takes place very, very quickly. All right, I don't know, I can't see if you're raising your hands, but this is an app to help parents with ADHD, with children who have ADHD. And the app is called Perry. It uses artificial intelligence to guide you through the treatment of your children. The company was founded by Ziv Elul. He was actually diagnosed at the age of 48 with ADHD. It's available, the app is available in the US and Israel. What you do is you answer a few questions and it gives you suggestions on what the appropriate treatment for your child should be. For example, should I medicate my child? You know, that's one of the questions that it will answer. Now, every single employee at this company either has ADHD or has a family member with ADHD. Now, when I first put this in the presentation, the cost was $10 a month. I think I was looking at it the other day, and I think it might be up to $20 a month to use the app. But I'm going to play a video. It's the shortest video I've ever played. It won't show you anything except the, except the cover page. Maureen said it's perfect for people with ADHD. 10 seconds. That's it. All right, let's move on to drought-resistant tomatoes. And by the way, this is going to be the longest video of the presentation, 3.5 minutes. Israeli scientists, so we're done with medical, by the way. We've moved on to agricultural. Israeli scientists have actually developed a new tomato that requires less water. What they did was they took a wild Peruvian desert tomato and crossbred it with a cultivated tomato. And this new tomato actually grows with less water and produces more tomatoes. It's expected to be in high demand because of the increase in droughts that are affecting farms. And the scientists are now working on commercializing this tomato. So it should be available soon to farmers around the world. But here we're going to actually have a long video where he's going to describe the process and how it all works.
It's juicy, comes in a rainbow of colors, and is used in delicious dishes around the world. The tomato. Israeli researchers at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem have just developed a new variety of tomatoes that is resistant to drought. The study, led by Shai Torjaman and Professor Dani Zamir's Plant Science Laboratory, found a tomato variety that not only grows with less water, but can even flourish in extreme weather conditions.
Commercial tomato breeds grown in open field conditions that you find in supermarkets, on average, require 317,000 gallons per acre each season. In our study, we cut this water amount in half and got great results.
To do this, scientists crossbred 2 species of tomatoes, a wild variety all the way from the deserts of western Peru, and a common tomato you can find in any supermarket. The goal was to pinpoint exactly which parts of the plant's genome affect its yield and other important agricultural traits.
We have here 1,500 accessions, and each one contains a segment of the wild tomato's genome. This allows us to see how each part of the genome affects the fruit, the plant's growth, its size, as well as its resistance to drought and pathogens. Because of these different results, we can find the characteristics that are important to us and discover where these characteristics come from in the wild tomato's genome.
According to the team of researchers, the findings show that wild species can be successfully used to enhance farming. This is good news for places like California, which produces about 30% of the world's tomatoes and 95% of America's processed tomatoes. Years of drought have squeezed farmers and made it harder for them to make a profit.
There is global warming, and farmers need tomatoes that can cope with these changing weather conditions. Global warming does not only cause higher temperatures, but also extreme weather, like sudden torrential downpours or drought. So we need plants that have improved capabilities that can deal with these extreme conditions.
An ongoing lack of rain could lead to shortages in the coming months, with everything from salsa to ketchup and pasta sauce becoming much more expensive. The percentage of land affected by drought has more than doubled in the past 40 years, and it's one of the many factors that's leading to sky-high food prices across the globe. For over 4 years, Professor Zamir's laboratory has been sequencing the DNA of plants and analyzing the data. This amazing new breed of tomato is still being developed and doesn't yet have a formal name, but it could soon hit supermarket shelves near you.
Okay, so now we're going to switch from to another agricultural technology. In this case, there's an issue with rising salinity in the irrigation water. So it's a combination of sea level rise and the depletion of underground aquifers. The company is called Salicrop, and they've actually developed a series of seeds that can actually grow in brackish water. They've been testing this at facilities located in both Israel and India, and they're supporting 8 projects around the world. Now, I'm not a chemistry expert, but according to their material, they use what's called a wet chemistry process to modify the genetic makeup of the seeds, which means they do it without genetic engineering. Now, the yields are increased from anywhere from 5 to 60%, depending on the product. And this video is another one where you'll have to read the subtitles, but you'll notice at the end, you'll see each product and how much their yields increased using these seeds versus a regular seed. Here we go. Okay, we got another agricultural product, and this is coffee. So coffee prices have been soaring, basically because of fears of shortages. And the shortages are expected to get worse as the climate changes. So an Israeli startup has come to the rescue with lab-grown coffee. Companies called Pluri. They used to be known as Pluristem, and they used to develop medical solutions from stem cells. And what they concluded was we can turn stem cells into anything. So now they're turning stem cells into coffee. And their process uses just 2% of the water that's required to grow naturally grown coffee. They can also customize the beans to be whatever bean you like. So like some people like the Hawaiian coffee or the Jamaican coffee. They can make any bean because it's simply a question of turning it into the appropriate molecules. And they can produce beans year round, whereas coffee plants only produce beans a few times a year. And of course, it's grown in a lab, so it's not affected by climate change. So let's hear a little more about Pluri and their new coffee product.
The coffee industry is facing significant challenges. With no real change in the near future, this beloved industry will undoubtedly suffer an irreversible crisis. The good news? We have the perfect solution to save the day.
Coffee production requires a lot of resources, relying heavily on water, soil, and energy. Global warming will reduce the area suitable for growing coffee up to 50% by 2050. Soon enough, the SDGs of minimizing the carbon footprint will be mandatory by regulation, and the coffee industry will have to adapt. There is a growing demand for certified coffee that guarantees reliability and sustainability. My mission and vision aim to bring Pluri's technology to the forefront, reducing the carbon footprint and addressing some of the industry's most pressing challenges.
Meet Pluri Coffee, a groundbreaking solution in cell-based coffee production. It delivers 100% authentic coffee in a significantly more efficient and ecologically sustainable manner. It slashes water usage by 98% throughout the entire supply chain, encompassing production, processing, trade, and transport.
Our state-of-the-art technology seamlessly integrates cellular agriculture, eco-efficiency, and scalability to create transformative cell-based coffee.
Pluri. Join the new era of coffee.
All right, now we're going to go on to some green technologies. Brenmiller Energy, they actually just recently signed a $3.55 million 7-year deal with Wolfson Medical Center. Wolfson Medical Center is in Israel. And what they're doing is they're replacing their oil-fired boilers with a thermal storage solution. How this works is they take in electricity either from green sources like solar or wind, and they heat up this crushed rock. And then when the electricity is not being produced, so in the case of solar, like at night, this heat is then released in the form of steam to drive whatever they need, but usually like a turbine that would generate electricity. The technology is used in Israel, the US, Romania, Italy, and Brazil, so it's been around a while. And it's expected to reduce Wolfson's cost by $1.3 million a year. And it's also expected to reduce the carbon by 3,900 tons a year. So it's both green, it saves the money, and it reduces greenhouse emissions. And even if they don't have green energy like solar or wind, they can still pull electricity off the grid when it's its cheapest, you know, at the low cost time periods. So let's take a look at this technology and see how it works.
Many people talk about getting to carbon neutrality, and most of the attention goes to electricity, to renewable energy for electricity. What people do not know is that over a third of the emissions globally comes from heating and the industrial sector. This is exactly the problem we want to solve.
in order to deliver the clean green heat and try to get to this target as cheap as possible and as green as possible.
Our heat battery is charged when the prices of electricity are very low, and then used for your needs on demand when the prices are high. What you as the customer get is reduction of your energy bills and reduction of emissions up to full decarbonization of your plant, your hospital, or your town.
The Bajan unit, which is a heat battery, is charged from different renewable sources, electrical such as solar, wind, or grid off-peak. This energy is captured using electrical heaters that are embedded within the storage. Simultaneously, or at a different time, water is introduced into the inlet of the storage steam cycle, gradually heated until steam is generated, then supplied according to the customer's demand. We have already installed systems like this in various sites in different capacities.
The immediate customers are industry, which is using today fossil fuels, and they have more and more restrictions on their emissions.
Our technology is exactly like what Tesla offers to cars, but we do this for the industrialized sector. Using our technology, we can release these industries from the dependence on fossil fuels and use renewable, clean energy to supply this heat.
Okay, so as more and more people buy electric vehicles, there's a concern about a shortage of chargers. So people, have to charge those vehicles. So a company called Battery has actually developed a robotic charger that they call Thomas that actually comes to your vehicle as opposed to you having to park at the charger. So what you do is you park your vehicle in a lot that has Thomas. If it's the first time you're there, you have an app, you tell Thomas that you're there, and Thomas will find your car and charge it. From that point forward, every time you come to that lot, Thomas will know that you're there, will check to see what the level of charge is in your car, whether you need to be charged or not. And if you do, Thomas will just go over to your car and charge it while you're parked. And once it finishes charging your car, it'll simply move on to the next car. Now, the economics of this require parking lots that have 50 or more cars for this technology to be economical. And by the way, if your car doesn't support wireless charging, although a lot of the newer cars coming out do, you do have to have a person plug the cable in. So hopefully over time, all the electric cars will support wireless charging and you won't have any human intervention required. So we'll take a look and see how Thomas works.
Check out our charging superhero, Thomas, the autonomous EV power bank. He makes sure every vehicle is charged up and ready to go all the time. When a car pulls into a parking lot, Thomas handshakes with the arriving car to get its state of charge. Oh, there's Emma. Her state of charge is way down to 20%. I wonder where she's gonna park this time. I'll have my license plate recognition system give me her parking location. Thomas navigates safely, steering clear of traffic. Phew, I'm so glad I'm equipped with collision avoidance sensors and cameras. With his patented L-shaped design, Thomas positions himself autonomously and charges the vehicle using rapid DC power, reaping all the benefits of fast charging while preserving battery life. Thomas uses either inductive charging or a charging cable, depending on the vehicle. The battery app, powered by AI and BI technologies, manages Thomas's every move. The app maximizes his workday, routes, and charging operation. After he finishes charging, Thomas moves autonomously to the next hungry car. Or if his power is tapped out, he charges himself up quickly at his charging hub. The Thomas solution scales up easily to support the growing number of EVs in parking lots of all sizes.
At least
Thomas, no infrastructure, zero effort to get started.
Okay, so drive-by-wire. Drive-by-wire is a way of, instead of using mechanical systems to do steering and braking and things like that, they use electrical systems. And the benefit of the electrical systems over the mechanical systems is weight. It reduces the weight of the vehicle, and by reducing the weight, you make the vehicle more energy efficient. So REE Automotive has developed a truck chassis that has both steering and braking by wire. So again, it's using electronics to perform these functions, reducing the weight of the vehicle, making it more efficient, and it will help improve the range of the vehicles. It's actually certified, the REE vehicle, by the US Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards and the EPA. And this truck, this P7C, is actually being delivered to various fleets in North America. I looked it up, and they have a REE office in Orlando and a REE office in Miami. They don't have any in Tampa. This chassis here is from a company called Knapheide. So again, they remakes the chassis. The cab or the storage device on the chassis is from another company that they would work with. I don't know if Knapheide is still working with REE. I also checked the range on the vehicle, so it really is an urban vehicle because it only goes about 169 miles. Not about, exactly.
I would say the overall goal is really bring the next generation of full solution electric vehicle to the marketplace.
That's the chassis.
I'm excited here today to show you the REE P7C all-electric cab chassis. On the back of it, you'll see the KUV-CC from Knapheide. It's been a joint partnership with them to offer this full solution to the commercial market today.
We've been working with REE now for about 3 or 4 months, and we've had really good conversations with their engineering team. It was a really good process of working with them and being able to kind of work through, develop our body around their chassis. Being able to work with them in advance and sharing that information was a really good process.
It's one thing to give just a cab chassis. It's another to actually partner with body manufacturers to come up with a solution ahead of time.
So the REE chassis came to us upfit ready. It came to us with a series of threaded inserts so that our body mounted directly to their frame rails. The other thing was that it was a plug and play interface. So all the electrical connections, we had all the plug outs and the pin outs provided to us by REE.
We really built this vehicle from the ground up, including the cab, the chassis, everything. Our REE corner technology separates us dramatically, with everything being by wire. So it's steer by wire, brake by wire, and drive by wire technology. And with those REE corners, it also gives you independent suspension in each wheel. And it's not just the EV side of things, it actually separates us overall. We're really trying to make the commercial vehicle better and not just make it electric. I would say we definitely exceeded that goal with this project. It's been a great partnership with Knapheide to get this over the finish line.
Okay, we're going to move over to consumer. There's just 2 technologies that I'm going to talk about, and I think for some people, if you are like to write books, you'll be very interested in the second one. But anyways, the first one is low light photography. So the company's called Visionary AI, and what they do is they enhance photos for low light in real time. They've actually partnered with Qualcomm, and they're going to be offering this technology in the new Android phones. It was introduced this past January at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and it uses artificial intelligence to enhance the photos. Now, the key is, to do this, it requires a lot of processing power. And the new phones have that processing power. The old phones don't. So that's why it has to be implemented on a new phone. It's completely software based. So, and it can also be adapted to medical devices. So think of a colonoscopy that's going up in a dark tunnel. So anyways, the picture that you see here is actually a video. They're going to just dramatize the picture. But you'll see the iPhone 15 Pro Max. You can see not bad, you can see the image, the dark image, but look at the Visionary AI. Look at the difference and how much clearer it is. So hopefully it'll also come to a iPhone in the future as well, but we'll see. And the third picture is the Samsung S23 Ultra, which you probably don't want to take low light pictures with that phone. So again, we're just going to see a brief video that just dramatizes this picture here. Okay, this is our last technology that we're going to talk about tonight. You know, if you were all here, I could ask the question, you know, who here is a budding author? But anyways, this is a product called Spines, and it's an artificial intelligence publishing platform. So it actually reduces publishing times from 6 months to 2 weeks. It uses artificial intelligence to edit your book, and it can also design the cover of your book. Last year, in 2023, they published 500 books. This year, they're targeting 3,000 books. And once your book is published on Spines, it goes to over 100 channels. The channels like Amazon, Apple Books, Target, Walmart, etc. I was actually watching a video of an individual who spent months and months and months going the traditional publishing route, trying to get his book published, and he was rejected at every turn. He went to Spines, which, by the way, charges $99 to do their publishing. And within 2 weeks, his book was published. It was on all these channels. And he said within a couple of months, he was almost making the same money as he was making in his full-time job from his royalty sales. So let's take a look at Spines.
So you finished writing your book. Now for the easy part, publishing it. Yeah, right. If you've already started to navigate the publishing process, you know it's no simple task. It can be stressful, takes time, and can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. You know your story deserves to be heard, and that your audience is out there waiting for you, but you're an author, not a publisher. Wouldn't it be great if you had a team of production managers and designers to help your book get edited, formatted, printed, and distributed all under one roof? Well, Spines is exactly that. We'll even help you design your book cover if you don't have one yet. Oh, and did we mention that your book will appear on 100+ channels, including Amazon, Baker & Taylor, Barnes & Noble, Ingram, and many more, with just one click? No more going to individual online retailers' websites and entering the same information over and over again. We've got you covered. You'll also get up to 70% royalties and be able to keep track of your book sales all in one place. And the best part? With the help of our AI technology, the whole process takes less than 30 days. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, doesn't it? The publishing process can take months, years, or longer if you don't know what you're doing. So why go it alone? Spines is an efficient and affordable way to get published so that you can focus on what matters most, your writing. Learn more at spines.com.
Okay, so if you're thinking of writing a book, now's the time. All right, so we always end on a human interest story. This is a nursery, a plant nursery at Kibbutz Be'eri. And as we all know, Kibbutz Be'eri was decimated on October 7th. More than 100 people were murdered. More than 30 were taken hostage. Buildings were burned to the ground. And the survivors were evacuated. So amongst the survivors that were evacuated was the owner of this plant nursery. Of course, when they were evacuated, they assumed that all their plants were going to die, you know, because nobody was there to take care of them. But they returned a month later, expecting to find just a bunch of dead, dried up plants. And this is a video. You'll see the whole nursery in a minute. That's what they found. Their plants were thriving, and there was a note. Yeah, I don't know if you see that whiteboard in the center of the picture, but there was a note and it said, "Sorry, we broke into the nursery. We had to water the plants. With love, the soldiers." So literally in the middle of fighting a war, the IDF soldiers saw that there was a thriving plant nursery here that was going to be ruined, and they took time out of their pretty busy day to actually take care of these plants. So when the owners came back, they had a thriving business that continued to operate. And I just wanted to point out that according to Maimonides, the highest level of charity is to provide a person with the ability to sustain themselves. So it's a very brief video, and he's talking Hebrew, but he says a few words. He's he can't believe what he's seeing. He just can't believe what he's seeing as he's walking around his nursery.
טוב, אז ככה זה נראה פה, איזה מדהים. וזאת הסיבה. תודה רבה.
So I know Todar Ba was thank you very much, and Zot Missy Ba was like, this is a party. I don't know what the first one was. Maybe Maureen does. Okay, but anyway, so just goes to show you the humanity of the Israelis. They're fighting a war, and they take time out to save plants. So that's the end of the presentation.